there. It takes a lot for a college football player to break through into my algorithm, into my life, into my heart. That, of course, Fernando Mendoza, slated #1 overall pick in the NFL draft in Pittsburgh 100 days from now. But the person who created that moment is Fox Sports, lead reporter for FIFA World Cup, but also with the college football action. Jenny Taft, so great to have you. Love you, adore you. You do it all. Tell me about your vantage point from that post game.
Oh my gosh, I love seeing that. First of all, thank you for having me. I've been a fan of yours and the show, and it's just fun to finally connect. Yay. But you know, it's so unique when I watch that back. It still kind of gets me emotional because you look at that journey for that team and Fernando and the evolution of watching him evolve throughout the season. And of course, it was a storybook ending for Indiana, but he is exactly who he is, right? Like his personality, and I love that now so many have seen him in interviews. I mean, he is this quirky guy, but he's so lovable. He's so smart. I had compared him early on to like a Kirk Cousins.
Me too.
He's just, have you? Yes. So he has that. He's so likable because it is who he is. It's genuine, and he's religious, and he's not afraid to talk about it. And he is the nicest kid, but he has that turn it on. He has that killer mentality. So I think what's been so fun for me is just to watch everyone else get to know Fernando. And I was just so happy for them. It was such a cool year to be a part of.
I don't know if it was as authentic as it appears. And then when I met him at Super Bowl, I was like, oh, I'm such a fan. Like it was just instant. And he sat and I was like, okay, I'm absolutely in. When you get told, or like, it was a close, I mean, sorry, this is like not my world, but it was a close game. So when you get told you're getting Fernando, like what happens, like I would be like, hit the lottery, this is gonna be great. What goes through your, what goes through your head in those moments? Like what did you, how did you go process what you wanted to ask him?
For sure, great question. And I feel like sideline reporters, it's so much about the relationship you have with the player, with the coach leading up to the moment. I'd like to think and believe that because Fernando and I had a good relationship and he realized in that moment they had just won the Big Ten championship. And that had been something he had told me about early on in the year, that was a goal for this team. So it hit him in that moment, and you see the emotion. And, everyone asked me about Coach Cignetti all year, and I actually loved interviewing him because even though he looks like he doesn't want to chat, he will, and he's honest. And I love an honest coach. He tells you how he feels. And that was so fun for me to see Fernando in that moment. That was a unique game where I did have Tom Rinaldi on the other sideline. So I was lucky enough to be able to do the interview with Fernando, and the flippin' champs quote will live on as one of my favorites. It's kind of hard to top that one. And just the joy for that team was really great to see.
What do you think if he goes to the Raiders? What are Raiders fans getting in him?
I've seen some memes. I know you've seen them with like the couple years in and he's fully tatted. Like that's not what's going to happen, right? Like he is who he is. And I think Fernando knows the kind of person he is and the quarterback he is. And the first time we sat down with him, he was so prepared, and he has this business-like approach. We know his background now. Obviously, he was at Cal. He's had these internships. He's really, really smart. So he is someone who's going to prepare and be ready and be embraced by the team and be embraced by the community. And I think he's ready for the challenge. I think we know how hard it is with any rookie QB, but I really root for him. And just because of his smarts, like he is one of those quarterbacks that is really, really smart. And I think he'll adapt, and I can't wait to see it. Hopefully I'll be able to do a couple NFL games so I can get some more interviews.
I would love that. Yes. 50 days until the NFL draft, where we'll see Fernando go somewhere, and then 100 days to the World Cup, which I'm sure is a huge celebration over at Fox. I'm so freaking excited. But for people who maybe don't track the U.S. national team, I know the rosters aren't exactly set. Maybe just describe what this team is under the new leadership of a passionate coach that maybe all U.S. fans aren't sold on yet going into this. You've covered this team for years. Where are they right now?
It's a loaded question with 100 days out, because in so many ways it is so close, but it's also really far away. I listened to an interview with Tyler Adams just a couple days ago. He's one of their leaders on the team. And, he said it hasn't even really hit him because he's coming off an injury. 100 days for these players still feels far out. What I can say about Mauricio Pochettino, I've kind of bought into this culture that he's established. I think the players have. I think it has been an interesting year where a lot has changed. I was with them last summer throughout the Gold Cup, and it was really crucial for me to see him and develop a trust, because my role with Fox Sports, I'm embedded with the U.S. team. So I'm there every single day. If they're at training, I'm at training. If they're flying to their second match in Seattle, I'm going to be flying on a different plane, meeting them there. So I'm basically embedded, involved every single day at the World Cup. And so I'm going to be a part of this mix in a way, but able to get to know the players and teams. And from the outside looking in right now, I feel like they are bought in, and they have a March window coming up, which is so crucial. This is the last time Mauricio Pochettino can really bring his guys together to make those decisions. And U.S. Soccer just made an announcement today that May 26th, they will release the roster. So yeah, it's around the corner, but it's 100 days, and Fox is just so thrilled to have it. This is my 6th World Cup. I can't even believe I'm saying that. I like to describe it actually to college football and the fandom, because there's nothing like seeing fans from all over the world come and celebrate their teams. And I don't even think the United States is aware of just how big of a party we're about to have in 100 days. And I can't wait to see it on display and celebrate this game that we all love.
Yeah, I've tried to listen to Coach Mauricio, and I talked to Landon about it too. And just he had the same sort of, and him and Tim, of course, have this brilliant podcast everyone should listen to as they prepare for the biggest party here on, in the States that Jenny's talking about. Being around the team as much as you are, ingrained, like you're saying, your words, what was the moment where he won you over, where you're like, I'm buying what he's selling?
You know, it's so funny. I have one example that was pretty recent. A couple months ago, I was in New York with Fox Sports, with U.S. Soccer, chatting about the World Cup, and he pulled me aside and he was like, Jenny, I have a question for you. Have you seen the movie The Miracle? And I was like, yes, this is before the Olympics. He's like, I watched this movie, The Miracle, and I love it. And this U.S. team and what they did, and they won it. And I was like, yes, Mauricio, I've seen Miracle. I'm also a hockey girl. Like, that is how I grew up. And he had this like joy about just that story and the belief, as if, why can't it be us? And yes, is it a long shot by a lot for the U.S. to go to a World Cup final? 100%. But the head coach should believe it, and he should be proud and excited about his guys. And he had this joy and excitement around it. He ended up going to a Ranger game. He was rocking a USA jersey. So now the fact that they had won gold, I'm like very excited to ask Mauricio about watching, the Olympics from that perspective.
Yeah, or like, what else are you watching? Like Roadhouse? Like, what other American, I'm trying to think, like Mighty Ducks 1, 2, and 3? Like, what are we, the Olympics? It's interesting because what you're saying, it tracks, because, I mean, I think the World Cup has more history in other countries, other places, whether it's South America, whether it's Europe, as far as the nationalistic perspective of that. And it's not a knock on American soccer. It's just maybe an evolution that we're a little bit more behind in what it really means to some of these other countries. And you can just tell that that's like a prevailing mission of his, is to get these players to want to be at that level where you see some of these other superstars and teams competing, and I honestly bet the Olympics really did help that. I bet he's like group texting them, like, do you see this? Are you watching this? So this is what we need to be. Because it matters. That will matter on that world stage. Pulisic, tell me, I've never met him, but I know he's got injuries. I know he's not scoring. Like you're saying, it's 100 days. What are you looking for as a reporter, as a voice here, as the eyes and ears of the fan ahead of the World Cup to make sure he's ready to go?
Well, I know I mentioned that March window, and I actually think that window is so crucial for a Christian Pulisic, who right now is in a little bit of a slump, right? He hasn't scored in 2026. Soccer is so unique where you want to have those moments and you still have time. But I think for Christian Pulisic, it's going to be great for him to actually get back to the States and be around some of his best friends. He's a guy who is so close with this U.S. team. And I think it's going to be a nice reset for him. I have no doubt that he will rise to the occasion when the World Cup is on home soil. He always has for the national team, right? I think a lot of pressure is being put upon him. He's not a raw kind of leader. He is a leader by example of what he does on the pitch. And the U.S. has those other guys. Like I mentioned, the Tyler Adams, who is a great leader for this team. There's Tim Ream, who's the veteran on the team at 38 years old. And the last, it's not official, right? But it looks like he'd be a part of this mix. And the joke at the last World Cup was he's the grandpa on that team. And I was laughing. And then I was like, oh, actually, I'm the same age. So I guess I'm the grandma reporter along with this guy. But I think for Christian just to get back and be around his guys will be really key. But then there's guys like a Weston McKennie, who's
Love
a name.
him.
Love him. And he's playing so well right now.
I know.
So it's not all going to be perfect right away, but you want to have, of course, you want everyone to be at 100 leading into the World Cup. It's not realistic, although seeing Weston playing the way he's playing, he is a confident guy you need in the locker room. And I think that is huge. I remember what he meant to the team at the last World Cup and what he will mean now 4 years later. I'm really excited about where he's at.
I think he's going to pop off. That's my little
exactly.
Kay Adams to Jenny Taft prediction.
Perfect.
What is success, you think, for Team USA? I think 2022, I think it was round of 16 they didn't make it out of. I think.
You're right, yep.
What would be success?
Well, so this is also unique and it's such a big World Cup, right? So this is teams. 48 teams. Yeah, I mean, just the scope of that, 104 matches. So there is now a round of 32 added into the mix because of that. So do I very much think the U.S. can and should win their group? Absolutely. They are playing against Paraguay, Australia, and then a European club. That team is still yet to be announced. It's a Euro team, probably Turkey. Turkey is what they now like to call each other. So just got to be accurate in that. But should they and could they win the group? Absolutely. I very much think that's a possibility. They beat Paraguay earlier this year and also Australia. But I think that they get out of the group. I think they win the group. I think they get past the round of 32 and they're getting to the round of 16. And why not winning that and continuing on? It is definitely, it's hard to even shape out because there's so many teams and there's brackets right now to predict. But I believe that they have so much talent on this team. And it's on U.S. soil. I mean, we last saw World Cup in '94 in the States. It changed the way we viewed soccer. The attention and the pressure, yes, they will be under, but I also believe that they're ready for the moment and they've known it's been coming for a while. And I think they're in a good place.
Would love to see it. Huge. Obviously, the home field advantage, also double-edged sword, adds pressure. To be playing in front of your home crowd and the most, the most fervent fans from all across the world. So it's going to be so exciting to see. What did Coach say when he learned that your dad was John Taft of 1976 U.S. national hockey team fame?
Oh, that's so sweet of you. So that it's what made me so happy. I was able to show Mauricio a picture of my dad, who was the captain of the 76 Olympic team. And, my dad was 4 years before the 80 team. So he's close with a lot of the Miracle guys. I know that he recently visited me in Boston and he and Mike Ruzioni had lunch. So that era of hockey is very close, which I love to see. And Mauricio was just impressed. He was like, wait, you actually skate? Like, you know how to do this? I'm like, yeah, if you're from Minnesota, we all skate. Like, this is part of what we do. It's just there's a pride, right? I was really excited to text my dad after the U.S. won last week. And, I think it's like a pretty unique club that they're a part of, that they represented the USA. And that is the same with this World Cup team. And, to represent your country, it's something, of course, I never had a chance to do. But I'm so grateful and honored in a lot of ways to be able to tell these stories of these players. And it's never lost on me, right? Like just the ability to tell stories and Weston McKennie, but I don't think a lot of people do. So how cool that like a Chris Richards, he's one of my favorites, he's a defender.
Okay.
The U.S. is about to get to know these players, these new stars, and their lives may be and will be forever changed in a lot of ways. There's always that World Cup moment. I mean, I also use the women as an example because I was so close to the U.S. women in 2015. I mean, think of how, yes, Carly Lloyd was a star, but she had a hat trick in the World Cup final. I mean, those moments are forever. Those moments live on. And, World Cups are where their lives change. And that's not just the U.S. That's for every team.
It's my earliest sports memory. If anybody asks me why I love sports, it was 1994. My dad about mortgaged the house to take me to a match that I just remember smelling churros for the first time at Soldier Field and watching Valderrama out there and watching my dad be emotional like I'd never seen him, and there's nothing would bring that out of him more than the World Cup. And you have that special tie to Team USA and the nationalism of that with your dad and your husband, by the way. Didn't Matt coach up the developmental?
Yes. My husband is
Rangers.
Yeah,
You're like
coaches.
a hockey girly. I love this. I just can't believe that Coach Mauricio decided to just bring that up on it. That's so wild to me.
So it was random because I don't think he had any connection or he didn't know I had a hockey connection, but my husband was a part of the team in 2018 for the U.S. as well. So I love hockey, and I think what's so unique, and you'll appreciate this, I know so much about the sport. I've actually never covered it really as a reporter. When I was in Minnesota, I did some stuff with the Minnesota Wild, but it's almost so close to me that I love that it's a little bit of a separate thing. It's like how I grew up. It's what I love. And then I'm so grateful that I get to cover football and soccer. But maybe one day my hockey knowledge will come in hand. I still skate occasionally, but I need a little more practice these days.
You'll have to come back once. I want to know what other movies are on his queue.
Right? I will ask.
Independence, is he watching Air Force
All
One,
Get
Get Off My Plane, Harrison Ford? What else is he watching to ingrain himself and motivate his team? I absolutely love that. And I mean, last one for you. What does Fox have planned for this big party you're talking about? Give us a little something.
Right? The biggest party of all. And I think the magnitude, I've heard a couple people describe it as 104 Super Bowls. And I feel like for your audience, that's what's going to resonate. But you can't even really put that into context, what that means. But there will be fans from all over the world just taking over the United States, all of these cities. And, Fox is going all in. I mean, I know for that first match, U.S. against Paraguay, June 12th, SoFi, we're having a 3-hour pregame show. This is going to be a party. And I've even heard it described from some of my boss's perspective, like a big noon kickoff show. We want everyone to be involved, this huge party of sorts. And we expect that for the U.S. I mean, we are going all in. The coverage will be all day on Fox, 70 matches on Fox. So for any soccer fan, yes, we will have you covered all day, every day. But I also love this new fan that's going to discover the World Cup. And a Super Bowl is one day. It's part of our culture. We build up to it all year. But a World Cup will be building throughout the month. Right? So we're going to have these storylines develop.
I literally have goosebumps.
Right?
I literally cannot wait. I cannot wait.
All month. Yeah. And you have to get to a match. You have to.
Oh, I'm going to so many.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I will absolutely be there. America's 250th birthday. We've got, Mexico, Canada, host cities as well. Fox, as you heard, is putting on the biggest party. I'm sure there's surprises at the party, big stars. So thank you so much, Jenny, for joining us on behalf of Fox Sports, America's official English language home this summer for FIFA World Cup 2026. Great to see you. Love you. Talk soon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.